Hello again. Let's get started with part 3 of this APA style tutorial. In part 3, you will learn more about the format of your paper and some general rules. Your paper will consist of 4 types of pages: the title page, the abstract page, text pages, and the references page. Now let's look at a few more general format rules. Use standard 8.5 by 11 white paper. Use 12-point Times New Roman font. Place a running head in the left header of every page, including the title page. Place the page number in the top right corner of every page, including the title page. Apply 1-inch margins on all 4 sides of every page. Finally, double space the entire document. Let's see how some of these conventions look when we apply them to an actual paper. What you're seeing here is a sample paper written using APA style. Notice how the paper has the formatting we've already discussed: 12-point Times New Roman font, a running head, properly placed page numbers. The entire document is also double-spaced and has 1-inch margins on all sides. Here at the top of the page we see the running head. A running head is a shortened version of your title, printed in the left-hand margin at the top of each page, including the title page. It should be no longer than 50 characters with punctuation and spacing. Here on the title page, include the words running head, capital R, lowercase h, followed by a colon and then a space, and finally the text of the running head in all capital letters. The pages after this title page will also have a running head in the same location. The running head is basically an abbreviation of your formal title of the paper. But you shouldn't label it running head on the other pages the way you did on the title page. We'll look at that a little bit more shortly. Also, the page number on the title page should be on the same line as the header, but on the right-hand side of the page. Page numbers will appear on all pages, including the title page and the references list. Continuing our discussion of the title page, make sure your title is concise but telling. Capitalize all important words in your title, which basically amounts to all words that are not articles or prepositions. All the lines of the title page, including the title, should be centered at the top half of the page. The title should not receive any special formatting, like bold or underlining. Like all pages, this one should be double-spaced. Your name will be the author's name, and you'll place it in the line immediately below the title with your first name, followed by your middle initial and surname. Do not use the word by on this line. After the author's name, place the author's affiliation on the line below. The affiliation is the name of the institution that supported the research or where the research was done. Your affiliation will be Lesley University. Do not use the word from on this line. After your title page, on page 2 of your paper, you will include an abstract. So what is an abstract exactly? Well, it's a brief summary of the contents of your paper, including your thesis, methodology, and summary of your findings and analysis, along with your conclusion. The abstract is there so that researchers can read it and find out if the article will be useful for their scholarship without having to read the whole thing. It's necessary for publication, and it's usually required by professors. If you're unsure about whether or not you need one, ask your instructor or just include one to be safe. Always wait until after you've written your paper to write the abstract. If you're struggling with how to format it or what to include, draw inspiration from the abstracts of the papers and articles you used in your own research. In terms of formatting this page, notice how the running head here does not include the phrase running head like it did on our title page. Beyond that, though, the head is still the same. It includes the same title, minus the phrase running head. It's still in all caps, and it's located in the same place as it was on the title page. The page numbers are in the same place here too. In fact, the format for the document head and the page numbers won't change after this. It will look the same as it does on the abstract page for the rest of the document. When you're ready to start the abstract, at the top of page 2, below the line with the running head and the page number, Type the word abstract with a capital A. Make sure it's centered. Below that, you will enter the body of your abstract. Do not indent, and make sure it's double-spaced. While there's no limit to the number of words you can use, most scholarly publications limit abstracts to 150 words or less. This is a good limit. Do not include anything else on this page. Moving on to the third page of your paper. So this will begin the longest section of your paper, the body, which is the contents or bulk of your research. As you continue to write the body of your paper, remember to double space your work, including any quotes, and include the header and page numbers at the top of every page. Always indent the first line of a new paragraph 5 to 7 spaces, and don't hyphenate words on the right-hand margin. That about wraps up part 3. Now, don't think I forgot to discuss the format of the references page. We're going to talk about that in our next video, part 4, so we have time to go into detail. Are you ready to move on? Let's start part 4.